something.
I think it's I don't think he'll play Saturday.
Do you think he should?
Yes, I think listen, it'd be really interesting. You know when you say something like, I said this yesterday. If Sterling comes on and scores an hat-trick,
I know what Texas thinking.
Right, if he comes on and scores an hat-trick, no one's going to be saying, "Oh, Sterling should be playing and leaving you out Saka." So,
but it's a bit of a false equivalence because Havertz hasn't been doing what Saka.
No, and Saka has. So, do you, if Sterling had scored a hat-trick, do you try and find another position for him or whatever? The reason that I think that Jesus stays is for that thing is that, yeah, all right, you're resting Havertz, but he's come in and got a hat-trick, and Havertz hasn't done the business in the last few games. So that's why I would go with it. I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus does start and he's on the left-hand side. Wouldn't surprise me.
No, but then that's a cop-out from Mikel. You're right. You're right. Actually, it's a great point. I wouldn't be surprised because it satisfies both. I gave you the start after the hat-trick, but I don't drop Havertz. You're so right. That is the most Arteta thing ever. But I'd be so disappointed. We are on our knees for someone to help Bukayo Saka. Please help Bukayo. Please, can he not be the only one with any sort of little bit of output, please? And it's not a little bit, it's a lot of output. And suddenly someone gives us a hat-trick against a first 11 Premier League side, right? So well done. That was really good from Gabby Jesus. And we're going to chuck him on the bench after? At that point, I wouldn't blame him for having his confidence sapped and not looking that great when he's being brought on. Because he'd be like, well, what am I meant to do?
The three of you in a word, would you start Jesus through the middle up top, Turkish?
Yeah.
James?
Yes.
Lee?
Now, today, boom, done.
Yes. After that performance yesterday, I think he deserves to start.
Well, you wouldn't.
Weekend.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this. I don't know if I really care because neither really impressed me. I mean, Jesus has got one strike because he's like, well, I've just got a hat-trick against team you're playing on the weekend. Start me. But then Havertz could say, well, hang on a minute. So what? He can not perform for a year and a hat-trick gets him back in? I've been kind of carrying the front line, albeit not great, for a year. I've had a little dip and this guy comes in. So I think it's 1-1. I think it then comes down to stylistically who is better to cause damage through the middle against the Palace team. I think that's what it comes down to.
But do you know what Jesus did? Forget the hat-trick. You know what Jesus did that Havertz doesn't do? Now, Havertz offers plenty that Jesus doesn't do. I think the running in behind. I think some of his hold-up play at times. But Jesus, for me, in that game, he was saying, we need to access the middle, like run it through me. Even if it didn't work, at least there was then maybe a loose touch and a pass. We could then press onto the second ball. And, guys, we attacked them down the middle. Ødegaard and Saka found passes centrally. We haven't been able to do that. We've been constantly trying to work our way around teams and whip balls into the box. Now, Jesus, whatever we think of him, and we have been critical, and I've been critical, in his last three starts, we've won 3-2. So we scored 3 in that, 3-0 Monaco, 3-0 Forest. So, there has been a degree of, open play chance creation with him in the side. And I appreciate Havertz starting the 5s against West Ham and Sporting. But there is something he adds. This isn't someone who does absolutely nothing for our team. When he's got a hat-trick, I think we'll build on that then, quite frankly. Because I don't think Havertz demands the ball in those tight spaces in the way Jesus does. I don't think he's the one who says, there's no space, let me make the space, if that makes sense.
He doesn't stretch, does he? He doesn't stretch teams.
Oh my God! Well, Havertz don't create space now.
No, it does it in a different way. Holds up the ball.
He's a space invader, Turkish. He invades the space.
But some people tell me he creates it. I don't know what's going on.
No, there's a difference between a creator and someone that attacks. He attacks the space, Jesus, from behind. So it opens it up a little bit more. I think at times with especially when you're playing a low block, Havertz is just playing in front of that block all the time. Like, you need someone to go in behind to stretch it. And that's what I think that we had yesterday. We had someone going in behind and making the gap bigger. When you got someone that keeps playing in front of you.
Your wording across this whole segment has been so crazy, but the comment section will let you know.
No,
Go on.
like
Elaborate, Turkish. Say it.
Nah, his wording for the last 30 seconds has been going in behind and opening the gap and all of this stuff. Listen, the comment section is going to have a field day.
Listen, there's different like Turkish. Jesus hasn't, Havertz hasn't got the pace of a Jesus that can get in behind players and all that. I think that's what we've lacked when we play in a low block. You've got to have someone that's going to.
It's Arteta's tactics as well. Arteta's likes it slow.
I've personally seen it differently. I think Jesus is better. I've seen the opposite personally. I actually think Havertz does a better job of making runs in behind, and I think Jesus is better at saying there's no space, so give me the ball, and I'll try and find something with some flair, a turn, or a bit of skill or whatever. But I mean, look, we're back to digging for positives for two players that ultimately we've been critical of, and rightly so.
That's why I said I don't really.
Well, I think
I actually kind of get that, Jordan. I actually kind of get that. It's a bit like, well, Jesus, great hat trick, but in 2024, there's no question who the better player has been. So I kind of get what you're saying.
I think when you've got an hat trick, and you've got
absolutely,
you've got that hat trick, you've got that confidence. You then have to back it up on Saturday. It's no good in going into Saturday. If he starts Saturday and doesn't perform, then we're back to square one. He has got to go and say, I don't care about Havertz. I don't care about Havertz. That's what he's got to say. I've got to care about myself, and I'm taking this opportunity and grab it. When you've got a hat trick, if you're not bouncing into training after those goals, you're never going to be bouncing into training. That was an unbelievable performance yesterday, and it ain't. It's not against a Bolton or a Preston. That was against their best team, and the back four that will play again on Saturday.
That was Lee, a bang on. If it was any other team, I'd probably say I want Havertz playing. But the mere fact that he's playing the exact same team on the weekend means that I would probably err towards Jesus keeping his spot. But it'll be Havertz.
Nah,
I think it will be as well. If you're a betting man. I'm putting my money. We could actually put points on this on the table. Should we put points on the table?
Let's do it.
How about you put money in my pocket? I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll take any bets. Jordan, Lee, who you gonna bet that Jesus starts this game?
By the way,
I would not be surprised if Havertz starts. I don't think it's the right thing to do, by the way, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So you're adamant Turkish. Hang on, Turkish. You're adamant Turkish that Jesus will start.
Yeah.
What do you think the front three will be then?
I don't. Saka's there, Jesus is there, and someone else.
I think it'll be the same. I think it will be.
I don't know. Rock paper scissors. The next position. Whoever fucking the first three in.
Actually, do you know what I was going to say? I think Trossard would start, but you know what? I just thought. I mean. I like Trossard on the left. When you've got someone like Tierney, you can overlap him. We've barely seen it, but I prefer him used like that. It could be Martinelli. I actually think it'll be Jesus, Martinelli, Saka. I think that will be the front three. But I just want to say, I think
it'd be Jesus, Havertz, and Saka. That's what I think it'd be.
I thought